hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and I have 10 of my favorite Valentine's Day DIYs, all using supplies from the Dollar Tree. As you can see, the theme I was going with was like a lot of red and white, but I kind of wanted to bring some fun, like coastal, little beachy touches into all of these. So we have like crabs and lobsters and seashells and buoys and all kinds of fun stuff. I can't wait to show you how I put all of these Valentine's Day DIYs together. So let's get started. Our very first one is going to be one of these little foam hearts from the Dollar Tree. They have these every year, and I just kind of want to finish the back a little bit because it has like that rough styrofoam texture. And so I'm just going to paint it with a little ivory acrylic, just to make it look more finished. If you were to look at the back of it or pick it up and look at it, I always like to finish the back of my things if I can. So easy peasy. Now on the other side of the foam heart, I thought it'd be really fun to cover it with roses. And I found these great felt flowers at the Dollar Tree. I'm trying to remember how many packages I used. We'll have to count. I see 6 packages there, but I can't remember if I used all of them. Probably. And they have like different size roses on there. So I'm just going to attach them with hot glue, but you kind of have to stagger them as well to kind of make them all fit together. The small ones fit in nicely for all the little nooks and crannies that the big ones had. So I just kind of play with it. It's kind of a little bit like a puzzle, a little rose puzzle. But I'm just using hot glue, and I know that that does like melt the foam a little bit, but we're going to act quick, so it's not that big of a deal. If you're worried about that, you could always cover like the styrofoam first with like masking tape. I do that sometimes. It gives you a surface. And as you can see, I just did a stripe right down the middle. And now I'm like going side to side and doing another stripe. And I'm alternating sizes, so small and little. So yeah, it looks like I'm going to go ahead and use all 6 packages of these. So if you're going to do this project, be sure to pick up plenty. I just picked up some more of these today because I just used them on my Valentine's Day coffee bar, and I'm like, ooh, I might want some more. They're so pretty. I love the felt. I think it's very soft. It almost kind of makes this look like a pillow once we get it done because it's so soft and fuzzy. And so I'm just going side to side, trying to fill it all in. I want it to look like, you know, the original heart shape. And I don't really want you to be able to see any of the styrofoam on the back. And so when I got to the end, I kind of had like a few like odd shape flowers. So I was just trying to make it work because I didn't have any more. So just filling in those last few pieces. Battery dead. A lot of you guys have been asking me if that Ryobi glue gun is good, and I do love it. The only thing I don't like about it is it does suck the batteries dry, but then again, I may have wore out my batteries. I do have generic batteries that I got on Amazon that work well, and I'm just rearranging the last couple ones to kind of make it look perfect for me. The only thing I don't like about it besides the battery issue is that it does spit out a lot of hot glue. So if you're doing any kind of like fine detail hot glue work, it's definitely going to give you too much. But this is how it turned out. Our little felt rose heart. Trying to zoom in to show you some details there, but this is just beautiful. Okay, you ready for another DIY? I just DIY'd this same exact book stack from the Dollar Tree for my Valentine's Day coffee bar the other day, but I'm going to show you another option. So it's already painted for Valentine's Day, and they had these last year. They have them again this year. I'm just going to go ahead and try to repaint these. And so I'm just going over it with some ivory acrylic. these book stacks are not covered in like, it's not like a painted wood. I wish it was, because I think it would make it easier to paint. It's kind of a paper on top of the wood, and it's really kind of on there. So I think it might be kind of hard to get off. So basically I just do lots of layers until I get just an ivory painting all over. And then I'm just going to tape off with some painter's tape the bottom 2 books so we can start painting this. And I'm just doing a bright red, candy apple red, to do the middle book in red. You could leave these as is, but I always like to customize my stuff, and I really like all my DIYs to kind of go together, and a lot of these DIYs today do. Now, this was the issue. Do you see this? I guess because it's, you know, paper. So when I painted that on the coffee bar the other day, I did not tape because I didn't want to cause damage, and I did a lot thinner coats of the paint. So I went back, touched it all up, as you can see, and now I'm going to try to do some lettering on here. If you want your letters to look perfect, you could always use your Cricut or some little tiny letter stickers, possibly from the Dollar Tree, but I'm just going to kind of freehand this on. I don't want the paint to go everywhere, so I'm actually just using a red Sharpie from the Dollar Tree, and I want to put some words on here. So I do love as here on the top book. And then I'm going to do ocean here on the bottom, just kind of working from right to left. So my spacing will be okay. And I'm going to have this say, love as deep as the ocean. I thought that'd be really cute for my theme that I was doing for these Valentine's DIYs. So I do use a white paint pen to do this. And I just got some new white paint pens on Amazon. They're really good. I'm going to have to add those to my Amazon shop because I go through white paint pens like crazy. I don't know about you. Now, I wanted to decorate it a little bit, so I thought we'd use one of these little octopus, little craft board pieces from the Dollar Tree, like that maybe, and kind of tie the books together with just some of this red and white tiny gingham ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I love this stuff. I picked this up like in all different colors for all different seasons. So cute. And then I thought we could put the little octopus right here on front. I'm not going to paint him. I'm just going to leave him that brown color. I think that looks kind of cute. And we have our love as deep as the ocean book stack. Very personalized, very cute for Valentine's Day. And I'm going to display it with a heart on top, so I didn't bother decorating like the top of the book, but you could if you wanted. Okay, are you ready for another Valentine's DIY? This is just a wood heart from like the home decor section at the Dollar Tree, but you could use like the little conversation heart ones from the Valentine's aisle. I think they're approximately the same size. This one might be a tiny bit chunkier. I am just painting the back in that candy apple red, just because it would be easier than covering the writing on the back. And the red doesn't cover the brown great, but we're going to try to make it work. And I did notice there was a little bit of residue on there, so I'm just going over it with another coat of red to kind of give ourselves like a nice red background. I kind of want to leave the sides white. I kind of like the two-tone effect. And then I thought we could decorate it with seashells. Now, these are those little tiny seashells from the little glass bottles at the Dollar Tree. You guys know I love these. I use these kind of shells all the time. I'm just going to use these. I'm trying to find like enough of them that are like the same kind of size and color. You could always use whatever you have, but this size was perfect to do this with. Just trying to do a heart shape the best that I can here, all around the edges. And I like how the seashells, like the natural color, kind of pops against that bright red heart. And so now it's just a matter of gluing them on. I'm just gluing them with hot glue, and what I do when I'm gluing shells on like that is I just go that like lip, the outside lip of it, if that's going to be up like that, and then just glue that down, and that's usually enough to hold it on there. Be careful though, don't burn yourself with your hot glue. You could always use other kinds of glue as well, but I love hot glue for crafting. It works really well and it's so fast. And I'm trying to get as many Valentine's DIYs out for you as I can. And last one, we have a little seashell Valentine's Day heart. I think this is really cute, and I'm going to display this on top of those wood book stacks that we just made. This is how it turned out. Our little seashell Valentine's Day heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like button. And when you're done watching all 10 of these, comment your favorite DIY below or just come say hello in the comments. I love reading your all's comments. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? We're trying to get to 12,000 subscribers. Okay. Next DIY, I just found this adorable like red crab at just like the regular like home decor stuff, and I loved it. I thought it went perfect with the red and white Valentine's Day theme with sea creatures. The only thing I didn't like about it though is that it's super glossy, so I'm going to go over it with some matte Mod Podge to kind of make it go with the other DIYs that I'm doing today, but that step is totally optional. Then I'm just going to break off a little bit of crafter's foam from the Dollar Tree and just kind of put that down inside just to fill it up. But you could always just like crunch up some paper or something like that. That would work too. Then we're going to fill it with some of these little like ivory foam roses from the Dollar Tree. These are really cute, and I thought like the ivory white color is going to go with our red and white color scheme, but it's also going to you know, be a nice contrast against the little red crab. So I do put a little extra piece of foam there on top just to kind of make these roses kind of go on like with a like dome shape, like they're kind of sticking up a little bit higher. And then I'm just attaching them one by one with hot glue to that foam until we fill it up, and it's just going to be a little tiny red crab filled with little ivory roses for Valentine's Day. Super simple. I love these little planters. I have these in so many different creatures now. They keep coming out with new ones. And this is how he turned out. Our little red crab for Valentine's Day filled with little tiny white roses. Super cute little detail. This would be great for a tier tray as well. Okay, this DIY is probably my favorite one. I'm going to use 2 of these little wood trays from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to build a kissing booth with these. So I'm going to do some hot glue to attach them end to end like that, and basically I'm going to stand them up on their side, and that's going to be the long ways. It's going to be like the front of my kissing booth. Now, once I get them glued together like that, I was a little worried it might need a little bit more stability. So I just cut down a popsicle stick to fit, and I'm just going to reinforce that a little bit here on the back so it stays together. Super cute. It's a great way to make a bigger piece out of 2 smaller Dollar Tree pieces. Now I'm going to go over the whole thing with just some white acrylic, just to give myself like a clean background here to work with. And I found a great kissing booth sign at the Dollar Tree. They have them again this year. They have them in red or pink, and we're going to use that for the top, but basically we're just building the base here of that little kissing booth stand. So, you know, they have the little tiny kissing booth stands this year, but this is going to be a larger version. It's really cute. So I'm just going over all the sides with that. I'm not going to worry about the inside of that because that's going to be the back of it. But I just wanted a nice white background. Now I'm going to use some of this craft wood from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just measuring here. I'm going to go cut this down with my saw. And now we have 2 pieces of this craft wood. I love working with this stuff. And I'm just going to go in and paint that ivory as well. Just the same as the little trays. Now I'm going to go on the back and attach this with hot glue to the edges of the back of the sign. And this is what's going to hold up the kissing booth sign, excuse my head. And I needed something a little bit stronger because, you know, the kissing booth sign we're going to hang up there is pretty large. So I'm using this thicker wood. But you could always probably get away with a ruler as well. That'd probably work. Just you need 2 sides for your kissing booth. And that's what we have so far. It's coming together. And this was actually functional as well. I displayed little Hershey Kisses on this that everybody could eat for Valentine's Day. So the little sign has like a little white sign in the middle that you can turn open or close, which is super cute. Mine didn't really want to spin too well though. So I'm just tying a little bit of twine just to make a little spacer there in the bottom, just to make it work a little bit better, and that seemed to fix it. But these are really cute. And again, they have these like in red or pink. Isn't that cute? And they have little white lips on them. And it's going to be the perfect size here to fit at the top of our little kissing booth. And I kind of did, like I did, you know, the white sideboards on the back so that you can kind of reach on the top of this and get Hershey Kisses a little bit better. But you could also do it the reverse way where you have like this on the front part of the sign by attaching the wood to the front of the sign instead of the back. And I just attached that to both of those wood pieces with hot glue. Now I wanted to decorate this with some sea creatures since I was doing kind of a ocean kind of red and white theme, and I thought red sea creatures, crabs, and lobsters would be great. And these are actually like, I think summer wind chime decorations, but you never know. A lot of my stores, I can still find the summer stuff like back either like usually in the party aisle at my stores. They don't sell out of it, they just keep it, and you can find stuff off season as well. And I do that a lot. So it does have holes for the wind chime. So the first step is I just had to fill that in with a little bit of spackle and try to sand that off to try to make that not so obvious. But I wanted to use this great lobster and crab, since they're both red creatures, to decorate the front of our kissing booth. So the first thing I'm going to do is go over the whole thing in ivory. And then I am going to just use a black Sharpie to draw the pattern back on. I could see it, as you can see, through the paint. And then what I'm going to do is paint these little guys red, but then you'll be able to see this outline through the paint is my plan. So I'm going to do the same thing here with our little crab, just drawing it all on. Super easy, just tracing. And that way this will have like the ivory background that's going to go with like my red and ivory theme that I'm using for these DIYs. So I'm just going to go over it with that red, candy apple red acrylic paint with a coat of that, and then we can decorate the front of our kissing booth. See how you can still see the black Sharpie through it? That's what I was hoping for. And I'm just going to attach those to the front of our kissing booth with some hot glue, and they fit on there just perfectly because it's rather a large little kissing booth. Super fun, and you could attach whatever you wanted to the front of it. You could do just hearts or stuff like that, or lips, that'd be cute. And then I'm just going to decorate it with some of these little tiny wood hearts from the Dollar Tree. Just add a little bit more Valentine's Day fun to this DIY. Just in red and natural. And then I thought maybe I should decorate this side as well. You can't have too many hearts for Valentine's Day, right? And check out this cute little kissing booth that we made. I think it's so fun. I absolutely love it. I think it's my favorite DIY today. And I just chucked a bunch of red Valentine's Hershey Kisses on top of there, which I have to refill often because everybody's trying to get some kisses and they're free. Hey guys, I have a private Facebook group. I always have a link below. I also have a Facebook page. I would love it if you'd follow me there. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest at Crafty Beach on YouTube, and I'm pretty active on all of those. I'd love to see you if you're on any of those social medias. Okay, this next DIY is going to be a thrift flip. I love to thrift flip like big signs because you can find like real wood signs at the Goodwill store. If you get it half price day, you can get a great deal. So I'm just mixing some of my homemade chalk paint. This I mix calcium carbonate that I get on Amazon. I always have that linked in my shop. A little bit of water and a 2-ounce bottle of acrylic paint, and that gives me a cheap ivory chalk paint because I wanted to cover up, you know, what was on this wood sign before. And I love these little paint rollers from the Dollar Tree, the hardware section. They are great, and for $1.25, you can just toss them when you're done and you don't have to worry about the cleanup. So I am just going over that with a couple coats of that chalk paint, trying to cover up all of the writing on there. And this is a fairly large sign. I'm going to use it for my shelf, and I am going to use my Cricut. I cut this. This is like a stencil vinyl that I get on Amazon, again in my Amazon shop. And I will share this Cricut file with you. I think I still have it. And so you could make this for yourself. But this is what I designed. It's going to say sandy toes and salty kisses. And I put a little crab on there and some lips. So totally coastal, totally Valentine's Day, all in one. Then I'm going to use my favorite paper, transfer paper that I get on Amazon as well. This stuff works great. And peeling off the back of my stencil vinyl. And we can make a giant stencil to do a hand-painted sign for Valentine's Day. So we painted it ivory, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to line that up the best that I can. And when you're peeling this paper, transfer paper off, see how I completely lay it flat, crease it back as tight as I can? That really helps it come off better without pulling off like any of the little pieces. And I love these fonts that I chose. Like, see the little heart details like in the sandy toes? I thought that was really fun. And I love this expression for Valentine's Day. It wasn't quite big enough, so I'm going to use a little painter's tape just to tape off the edges to make sure I don't make a big mess. Because we're going to go in here with that candy apple red. And I'm going to use another one of these little rollers. And we're just going to use the foam roller to do the stencil because it's such a big sign. It actually worked pretty well. You might have a little bit of bleeding though if you do this. And so I'm just going over my stencil. I'm going to do all of the writing and the little pictures in red. It's going to be a nice contrast, and it's going to totally go with my red and ivory color scheme today. And then I give it a quick dry. So let's see what we've got here. It's always a little nerve-wracking when you pull your stencil off because you're like, oh, please work, please work, please work. And look how it worked pretty well, actually, for using a roller. Sandy toes and salty kisses. And I love a hand-painted sign. The only bad part about these adorable letters is that you have to weed all these little pieces out, but not too bad. But I like the little heart detail. I think it's really sweet for Valentine's Day. So we're just going to go ahead and weed all of this little painted vinyl out. All the way down. And if you do have bleeding, don't worry. You can usually touch it up. I like to distress everything, so I usually can get away with it. So looking cute. I'm just going to give it a quick sand to kind of start distressing it a little bit. Brought some of that texture out from the bottom of the sign where it was a little bit rough. Kind of a natural wood, but I kind of liked that. So just cleaning up all of the sawdust with a baby wipe. And then I want to make my stand, my sign stand up. So I'm just going to use some craft wood from the Dollar Tree. I have a little piece of it, and I'm just going to hot glue that on the back. You can see this was just kind of a raw wood sign that somebody had painted before, leaving a little bit of space there between the bottom and my stand. That way it will slightly lean back when I stand it up and it won't fall over. Now I wanted to give it one more final touch. I'm going to use some of this decorative nautical rope, the brown kind, from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to make a simple rope border. I love doing rope borders. I think they really give a fun coastal touch, and they're so easy to do. And it's so much easier than making or building a frame. So I'm just going to attach that with hot glue all the way around our little sandy toes and the salty kisses sign. And this is like, I think the thinner brown rope, but you can use whatever you've got. If you did get different colors, you could also use the white. And this is how it turned out. It's a pretty large sign. I have it, it feels like a whole shelf on my cabinet. Sandy toes and salty kisses, and it really ties all these projects together today. Okay, this is one of those little Valentine's Day like delivery trucks from the Dollar Tree. They have these every year. I just DIY'd this same one the other day and made a love letters mail truck for my Valentine's Day coffee bar. If you haven't checked out that video, please do. YouTube went down on Monday night. They took away all of my live views for my premiere. They took away all my views pretty much the entire night. And then it went from like my best video to my worst video, and they still haven't really gotten it fixed 2 days later. So come on, YouTube. So you might not have seen it because the algorithm was a mess, but we're going over this whole thing with just a bright red chalk paint. You can use acrylic as well. And then I'm just kind of using the other side for reference to kind of see what the cab of the truck needs to look like. And I just draw on a simple window and a door handle, maybe a few more details like a headlight. And then I'm just using a black paint pen just to draw on the tires. Easy peasy. Now I have like a blank canvas. I can make a little decorative piece for Valentine's Day, but it can also be a Valentine's Day sign. I also do a line to do like the bumper and between the cab and the trailer of the truck. And then I wanted to make this fun, so I'm just going to use a white paint pen and just do my lettering. Again, you could always use your Cricut or stickers for this, but a Ray Dunn font is usually pretty easy, long, skinny letters, and that's what I was going for here. And I'm going to have this say Cupid's Fish Market. I thought that'd go great with the different DIYs that we made today, all like ocean creatures and stuff like that. Ties in a little bit of Cupid. Just touching that letter up because I kind of messed up. And then I'm using just some of these little wood stickers from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use a heart and like a little Cupid's arrow. And then I'm just going to go over Cupid's one more time with that white to really make that pop against that red background. Make it look a little bit better. Whenever you hand paint these signs, you're not going for perfection, but I kind of like the appeal of it looking hand painted. Like that. And then I thought one of these little wood fish from the Crafter Square at the Dollar Tree would be really cute on there. And then I decided to switch out one of those wood stickers for a little Cupid, since it says Cupid's Fish Market. And I'm just using ivory acrylic, and we're going to paint that little bendy wood white fish. I love DIYing with these. And this is going to be so cute because this is going to be on top of the back of the truck. So it's going to really go with the fish market theme. And I'm just going with that red and ivory color scheme that we've been using on all these DIYs today. Whenever you paint the little bendy animals like this though, I use a little Cricut weeder to go in there and get all the paint out of the cracks. And then I'm going to use that same ivory color to do my little Cupid heart and my little Cupid arrow. And as you can see, I'm painting with one of those little makeup sponges from the Dollar Tree. Those work great. One of my viewers gave me that tip, and I have never forgot it because I love it. Now, I am going to distress with the ivory and a chunky brush just to give it a little bit of a coastal flair, kind of break up that red a little bit. Just give it a little bit more character. And then we can start attaching these As you can see, I painted the back of the arrow to avoid the glitter and just glue the glitter side down. And then I'm going to put my little Cupid down as well. He's so cute. And then I didn't think that Cupid was wide enough, so I did go over it with a Sharpie paint pen. I love those. Those are pretty good too. Just to make that pop a little bit more. And then we're just going to glue our little fish to the top. This was so fun to make, and I think it turned out really cute. What do you think about it? I thought the final touch would be a little red heart to make my little fish look a little bit Valentine's Day. So I just painted one of those wood sticker hearts from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to attach that right in the middle of the little fish, like that, and then distress him a little bit. And this is how he turned out. Our little Cupid's Fish Market truck. I think it's so fun and unique, and it definitely goes with these DIYs that we've been doing today. Okay, next DIY, I'm going to use one of these little hanging love words from the Dollar Tree. This is like the block letters with the little heart cutout, and I thought we could cover the letters with fabric. Now, I will share these designs. I think I can still share these. These are like my old Canva account, but I think I can still share them. I designed these for Valentine's Day. The white one, I did a fabric with sublimation. I did little red crabs and little red hearts all over it. And we're going to make the L and the V covered with the white with the red sea creatures on them. Now, if you don't have sublimation, if you don't have a sublimation printer, you could totally do this with my designs and just use paper. No big deal. But if you have sublimation, I just used the white polyester fabric from the Dollar Tree to make my own custom fabric, which is so fun. They have a lot of great fabric at Dollar Tree now too, though, so you could always use whatever you could find. And I'm going to cover the L and the V with that. Now, full disclosure, the first time I tried to make this, I saw somebody do this, and they kind of like burnt off the extra like fabric around the edges without having to cut it off, and it was a total failure. Avoid fire, people, avoid fire. So the O shape is kind of a little bit interesting. It's got like a heart cutout. And again, I'm just trying to use the back of those for reference. So I can cut this fabric down to size and get it as close as I can. Since I can't draw around the entire letter because they're all kind of connected. And then we're also going to do like the E. And this fabric, the red fabric I designed, has little white crabs that I did little red hearts on. And then little like white lobsters to kind of go with our red and white sea creature theme we have going on today. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut out that letter as well. So now we have all of our letters cut out, and we can just attach it with Mod Podge. So I'm just going to Mod Podge the fabric down. First we're going to do the white ones, and that way the red can kind of overlap the white. Because if you did it the other way around, you might be able to see through the white fabric with the red fabric. So I thought the red should go on top. Once I get it on there, I thought that O was a little wide. But we're just going to try to make this work. And I'm also trying to like Mod Podge it to the other fabric as well. And then there is our little E. And you can cover this with just about anything. Super cute. You can always paint them as well. Or they're really cute as wood too. I was having some trouble there with that little joint, getting that to stick. But then I'm going to go over all the fabric with Mod Podge to make sure that it is all sealed and glued down to our little love letters. Super cute. And I always like to use the matte Mod Podge because I don't really like the sheen. Now, it looks really cute, and you could leave it as is. I'm going to do a border, kind of like the rope border that we did for our Sandy Toes and Salty Kisses sign, but I'm using that like thicker twine that comes in the big roll from Walmart. It's thicker than what you can get at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use that to try to frame these out. Now, the bottom letters, you can't see all of them. So as you can see, I'm only gluing that to the parts, the edges that are exposed, because we're going to have overlapping letters, which made it a little bit more complicated to frame this out. But then I'm going to go ahead and use that same one to start my E letter, because it was kind of the same line. And just doing a little bit of hot glue at a time. I do have to burn that. You'll see me using a lighter on that because there are like lots of imperfections, little pieces sticking out, little fuzzies that kind of take away from it. So if it gets too rough, I just burn it. And now we're just going to finish up with the O. And then I'm going to do the little heart inset as well. You could also put something behind the heart that kind of pop out. That would be cute as well. And I want this to be a standing sign because it's going to go on my shelves. And so I'm just using some of these little Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree and just gluing one onto each side to make this little sign stand up. Easy peasy, super custom. Super cute for Valentine's Day, I think. Look at that. Love the little crabs and lobsters. So fun. I had a lot of fun putting this little DIY together. Okay, now this is a thrift find. I got this half price at Goodwill. You know, I only shop half price day because I'm cheap. And it is a wood buoy, and I thought this would be great to DIY. It's going to go great with our coastal theme. And it's old and dirty and kind of ugly, but that's okay. We can make it like red and ivory or color scheme. So I'm just going to use painter's tape to kind of tape it off here in the middle, kind of where it was before. And we're going to continue that like two-tone thing it's got going on, but use our colors that we use today. So I'm using candy apple red all along the top, doing all the sides. Now, if you can't find a fishing buoy like this, but you want to recreate this look, I have a DIY fishing buoy that I did for 4th of July. I did it my first year on YouTube, which was 2021. I think I shared it again last summer. You'll have to look under my 4th of July videos. You should be able to find it. And basically, I carved the little buoys out of that floral foam from the Dollar Tree. They turned out really cute. Now, I'm using some of the wood numbers from the Dollar Tree. I really like those. They're a nice large size. And I'm going to paint the 2 in ivory and the 14 in red. And I thought it would be fun. And, you know, because like buoys, like a lot of times have numbers on them to do the numbers for the date of Valentine's Day. So that's my plan. Just doing the 2 in ivory. And I did have to do a couple coats of the red to get that to pop because, you know, red's kind of hard to paint sometimes. Now I'm going to reverse my painter's tape and cover up the red part, and we're going to do the rest of the fishing buoy just in ivory acrylic. And so I'm going to do the little 2 in ivory on the red background, and then the 1-4 in red on the ivory background. So basically, this buoy was in perfect condition. Like really the only thing I had to do was paint it. And if you do DIY your buoys, I mean, what you're going to want to do is get those long pieces of floral foam from the Dollar Tree, not the ones that's like sliced into fourths or whatever. So pulling that off, I did have a little bit of bleeding there from my painter's tape, but no big deal. You can always just touch that up. And I really like the two-tone. And then here is our little wood numbers from the Dollar Tree. Super cute. I mean, it looks like, you know, like normal numbers that would be on a buoy, but then when you look at it closely, you're like, oh, 214, Valentine's Day. So I'm just going to attach those to one side of the buoy. And I'm going to hang like I'm going to make a garland for the top of my cabinet. And I'm going to hang this from one side, like kind of down the side of my cabinet. It's going to look really cute up there. Now I'm going to use some of that big twine from Walmart to make a new hanger for it, just stringing a piece through and tying that off. Easy peasy. And we have a little Valentine's Day buoy. I thought I needed a heart though, so I'm going to use one of these little wood hearts from the Dollar Tree to finish that off. Right here on the top part of the buoy, and this is how it turned out. Our little 2-1-4 Valentine's Day fishing buoy. Now, I told you I was going to make a banner for the top, so this is how I made it. I'm using these little grapevine hearts from the Dollar Tree. You get 5 in a package, which is a great deal. And I'm going to make a super easy Valentine's Day pennant banner. And then for the other side of the cabinet, I thought I would hang those little hugs and XOXO wood beads, also from the Dollar Tree. Just stringing them together, it's going to make a cute little thing to hang down like the other side of my cabinet. So I don't have to do anything to those. They're perfect. So I just took a piece of twine that's the length of my cabinet, and then I'm going to use some of this Dollar Tree twine to tie off each piece of our grapevine hearts. That way I can then tie those to the twine that I'm going to use to make it where I can kind of move it back and forth if I need to, and it's going to kind of dangle down. And I really think it looks cute hanging with like the heart like leaning to the side like that. I'm going to do them all like that, just all leaning the same way, kind of working in the same direction, just double tying the twine off and cutting that off. Whenever I do like a pennant banner, I always like to work like in odd numbers, and so that's what I'm doing here. Gonna do 5, sometimes I do 3, and this is how it turned out. This is how it looks hanging at the top of my cabinet, and then I just strung those little wood beads along the side as well. Okay, are you ready for the final reveal? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I wish you a happy Valentine's Day.
Give me love, give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way, don't know what you do. Hold my hand, could you hold my hand, look me in the eyes. You and me, yeah, that's all I need, and I'll be alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love. All that we have is each other now. Promise you won't leave my side. I hope who I am is enough for you. If I'm giving you my love, giving you my love, love. Tell me what you wanna do. I'll do anything, as long as I can be here with you. Everything's alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough.
thank you so much for watching. If you'd like more Crafty Beach, YouTube thinks that you might enjoy this video right here.